Caroline Strachan with Festive Road, and today I'm in conversation with Katie Foster from Tripactions. Katie, welcome.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you here. I know you've got a really busy day today, so thanks for joining us.
No worries, it's nice to be here.
So we're talking managed travel today. Which part of managed travel would you like to talk about?
So picking up on kind of industry trends at the moment, I was thinking duty of care.
Oh yeah, good one. Okay, looking after travellers while they're away from home.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what specifically about duty of care would you like to talk about?
I think it's with the kind of everything that's happening in the industry right now, obviously there's a lot of issues and different things happening, whether it be environmentally or politically, which are affecting travellers. So I think it's becoming more and more important for companies to think about their travellers and how they look after them, not just from a legal perspective, but also from generally caring about them and keeping employees happy and feeling safe and secure during their employment with the organisation.
Yeah, great, thank you. Do you know, it's interesting, in my days as a travel manager, duty of care really took off because of the corporate manslaughter law in the UK,
right,
which is very legal based, so people were so afraid of ending up in prison. Whereas now, I think what I just heard there is, it's the right thing to do. You should be looking after your travellers. So look, why should travel buyers be thinking about this? Is it around employee engagement? Is it...
It's about employee engagement, but also employee happiness.
Okay.
I think culture has changed dramatically over the last few years. People want to work for a company where they feel valued and supported within the organisation, and that is just becoming so much more important. People change jobs very quickly. If they're going to stay and feel engaged in that organisation, they need to feel valued. And a lot of travel policies don't allow for that, and certainly the way they're looked after don't allow for that. So the culture's changing, and it's building more and more to looking after that employee, making them feel like it's a family, it's part of a team. You're not out there on your own on the road. You've got someone supporting you and there when you need them. Okay.
So duty of care then, it sounds to me as though like the traditional way of describing it would have been around security and safety. Mm-hmm. And if it was normally around if something went wrong, how are you going to help them? But it sounds like you're expanding it there, which I really like, which it's about listening to the traveller and making sure they have a better experience. Yeah. Like you used this great line, I think I heard someone say it yesterday about you're focused on how you get them there so that they can focus on when they're there or something like that. It's
not about the journey, it's about the destination, right, effectively with business travel. You want to get there and get back and just do what you need to do. You don't want to spend time figuring out how you get there, if you're safe while you're there, all of those things. You just want to be able to do your job. It's the travel management company's job to make sure that you're being supported on the route, and the travel manager of your organisation and your HR team. All of those people are meant to be looking after that for you. That's not your responsibility. Obviously, like the safety and legality pieces are key to anything. That's massively important to any organisation. But I think you have to go a little bit further than that. You have to be proactive and make people feel like if they've got questions, if they're unsure about what they're doing, if they need a different level of support because things are changing currently, they've got questions, they want answers. Yeah. And you can't just say, oh, we don't know, good luck. You have to be there for them and understand that things do change, and you need to be there and support them 100%.
So can you see a time where maybe in the industry, it's our collective responsibility to make sure they're being, and maybe this is already happening, fed the right information at the right time? So advice on like before they take the trip, throughout the trip, being fed tidbits of information, and that it's maybe the travel manager's job to corral all that information internally and work with HR, and then maybe the TMCs.
I think that's putting a lot of pressure on the travel manager to understand everything that's happening in the world at any moment. From a Tripactions perspective, we have a duty of care product as part of our platform, which allows travel managers to know where all their travellers are at any one time. We also have a proactive care team who reach out if any travellers currently on the Tripactions platform are affected by changing situations in any country. So those tools allow travel managers to have kind of the weight lifted off their shoulders and can focus on providing the tools, providing the support, and knowing that there's backup when they're not online. Most travel managers don't want to be sitting there on a 11 p.m. on a Saturday night thinking, oh, there's a storm coming in. I wonder if any of our travellers are going to be affected by that. The way Tripactions works is we go, okay, looks like there's going to be flight cancellations tomorrow. and we communicate with all the travellers who are potentially affected by that from the proactive care team, and then our support agents, our travel agents, are available 24/7 to then help them rebook, reschedule their trips and figure out what to do next.
Okay, so that sounds a great solution for the those horrible cases, right? That we all want to avoid, the cancellations, the weather issues. Can you see a time where there'll also be information pushed to people, maybe through your app or whatever, with well-being tips and that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. I think, again, that's another thing that's completely changing in the industry. People are getting more and more worried about how travel does affect their employees over time, and therefore looking into how you can better support your travellers on the road and keep them happy and healthy. It's definitely something that's a huge focus at Tripactions and will continue to be over the next few months.
Great, thank you. So let's round off with any advice you might have for travel managers or people who have responsibility for travel in their company who are thinking about, I need to do more about duty of care.
I think the main thing and the piece of advice that we give to all of our travel managers is that you need to have a plan in place. There's a lot of different things you can look at. We kind of have a 4-step plan, which is to monitor, to assess, to communicate, and then take action. So if you've got the plan in place and you know what you need to do, you're in a good setup to support all of your travellers ongoing.
Excellent. I like that there's a little model there that people can follow. I think they're going to like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Always good to have a plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you've got a really hectic schedule, so we really appreciate your time.
No worries. It was lovely.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks very much.